So, welcome to Jim Cox. He is the editor-in-chief of Midwest Book Review. My name is Tracy Smoke, an author that he's helped tremendously. We did a session shortly, and we talked about what is a book review, why is it important, why do authors need help promoting? And we had so much fun that we're going to do another session, which is how do you make your book title stand above the crowd? How do you make the 30% cut that actually gets a printed review? So, Jim, you're a natural at this. You've got decades of experience. We're listening. We want to learn.
Okay. What I'm going to share with you is some insider tips, tricks, and techniques for making your book stand out from the crowd, because every legitimate book review and all the major book review publications and magazines, websites, and resources always receive far more books asking to be reviewed than they have the time to do it. So how do you get yourself put to the top of the list? Well, here's some ideas. One, avoid the following peeves. There are two kinds of book review operations: pre-publication and post-publication. Pre-publication, like the New York Times Review of Books, they don't want the finished book. They want, like 6 months earlier, a galley, a manuscript, a PDF file, at the very least, an advanced reading copy. And they will refuse a finished published book asking to be reviewed. So if you're pre-publication review requesting, find out if that's thematically appropriate to the source you are approaching, individual or corporate. Post-publication reviews are restricted to books that are published and already available to librarians, booksellers, and the general public. And a post-publication review is like the Midwest Book Review or a television talk show, like Stephen Colbert when he brings his authors on. And that's because they need the book as a visual prop for their author interview. And the second thing is, especially if you're a self-published author, there is a traditional and historical prejudice against you. And that rises out of the early days of self-publishing, when no money was spent by shoestring and even no-string published authors to do a proper editing, so that the grammar had problems, the structure of the book had problems, and so forth. And that gave small press and self-published books a kind of a black eye or a negative going in when you tried to submit to a reviewer. So you have to make sure that you didn't skimp on getting your book edited properly. If you can't afford a professional editor, at least give your most literate friend the opportunity to read through it and point out anything that is so large and glaring that they catch it. And then go to print. I think the biggest handicap self-published authors, fiction or nonfiction, face is a lack of good editing. But if you got that, here's what you do. Now, the Midwest Book Review does not charge for its reviews of published books, hardcover or paperback. They're free, they're no charge. How can we afford to do that for the last 47 years? We are funded by 2 annual foundation grants for the purpose of promoting literacy, library usage, and small press publishing.
Hmm.
And it's in support of that mission statement that both those foundation grants are based. And I'm happy to report they have been successfully based for the last 46 of 47 years. That first year is the one that we had to use to get them in the first place. And that's why we promote self-published authors are given priority. Small publishers, niche publishers, new publishers are given priority. So when you get your list of possible review resources and people, find out, do a little homework, find out what their mission statement is, and can your book fit in with that?
Mm.
For example, I'm in Oregon, Wisconsin, and we've had a 47-year-old policy that any Wisconsin author is guaranteed a review. Now, whether review is positive or negative depends on the book, but they're guaranteed a review because one of our first monthly publications was called the Wisconsin Book Watch. If you're a Wisconsin author, a Wisconsin publisher, you were guaranteed to be considered for a spot in that publication, which back in those days was sent to 991 Wisconsin libraries, public libraries, school libraries, academic libraries, and so forth. So that's what I mean by research. Find out if there's a hook, if there's a thematic appropriateness for your particular book. The Midwest Book Review, as part of our statement, has a website, midwestbookreview.com. It's massive. And it was specifically designed to teach reviewers how to stand out, how to get reviewed, and what to do with a review after they got it. Mm-hmm. And a part of this is a database that I created called Other Reviewers. You'll find it on our homepage on our website. You click on Other Reviewers, it opens up this database, and you go down the list, and it's a long list because I've been around a long time and I know a lot of people. And when you see one that looks promising, you click on it and it will zap you to that particular website, read through that particular website, and you will be able to determine whether their review is thematically appropriate to your book. And if it is, what their submission guidelines are. Mm-hmm. By the way, everything on our website, including the databases, are free of charge because our mission is to help you as an author learn how to market and sell, promote and publicize your book on a no string or even short string budget. Mm-hmm. Pet peeves. As a self-published author, the odds are already stacked up against you. Please do not deface your book with review copy only, not for resale, or mar the barcode on the back, or stick a sticker on the front. Mm-hmm. What you want to do is evaluate the person or company that you're going to send your review copy to determine that are they legitimate? Do they have a good track record? Are they appropriate for your title? And if the answer to those three questions is yes, send them the pristine edition of your book for review. I'll tell you, it breaks my heart, but when I have a first-timer send me in a book, and they've slapped labels on it and front and back and all of that, and I have 29 other books that arrived that day that are all shiny and pristine, it's going to be the fate of the one that's scarred up. People scar them up saying, well, I don't want the reviewer to sell that book to a bookstore because it would rob me of a possible sale. False thinking. Mm-hmm. Let's say that a book does get sold to the used bookstore. Well, it will be seen by that bookstore's customer base and be exposed to people that you would never have an opportunity to bring your book to their attention.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this too. We don't sell review copies on the internet, Amazon and all of that. Some of them are sold to a local bookstore, because we got to pay the electric bill to keep the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them are donated to an organization called the Free Little Libraries.
Oh, yeah.
And if you want to know what that is, just type in the Google machine, Free Little Libraries, and basically they look like birdhouses for books.
I just did a blog on that. I took a copy of my novel, Who Brought the Dog to Church, the one you all reviewed for me this summer, and I put it in the little lending library downtown in our historic city. And then I just took a picture, and I had written a note in there and just said, hey, I'm an author. I live here local. I hope you enjoy the story. And if you're the one that ends up with the book, here's my email, here's my website. So I hope that works. We're a little short on time again. So to parting advice for a new author, a small publisher, a new publisher, what else would be your parting advice as far as how to ensure this little book baby's survival and promotion as much as possible?
On my website, there's a section called Advice for Writers and Publishers. This is an archive of all the instructional how-to articles I've written over the years. Mm-hmm. One of them is called How to Spot a Phony Book Reviewer.
Oh.
You go to my website, you click on Advice for Writers and Publishers, then you go down the list, and it's called How to Spot a Phony Book Reviewer. Click on it. There's my document, and it's a series of instructions on how to go about determining that the reviewer you're considering sending your book, that you paid out some money to have published, is legitimate, fair, and appropriate for you.
You are such a wealth of information. I appreciate you, James Cox at Midwest Book Review. I have a lot of homework to do. I've got to go back to your site and check out different suggestions. I hope that we can reconvene again another time and expand on some of this information and advice. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and get these 2 sessions uploaded and make sure I have all my technology on my side done. But I'm sure there are a lot of writers out there that are looking for help, that need help navigating the maze. And thank you for promoting literacy. And I didn't know that you all are sponsored through a foundation to help aspiring authors. So thank you for what you do, and we'll close off for today. I'll put some information and links in the description so that if anybody wants to go to some of the sites you mentioned in this session, they'll have them easily accessible. I hope you have a wonderful day. And any last thing you want to say?
To one and all, goodbye, good luck, and good reading.
All right. Thank you so much.